What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am, and if you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam whatsoever. Your kid's gonna be stupid, and trust me, you do not want that to happen, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big sad face moment. Anyways, guys, today I have a story time about this kid that ran around scamming everybody at my school. The video I made about the kid who stole all the money at the school in the first place, you guys seem to really enjoy, so I figured I would tell this one too. I was a little more involved in this one, not in the scamming side, but like the whole, catching the scam thing. Regardless, it should be a pretty funny video because this kid who was scamming everybody was just an absolute savage, and yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Archives did it again.
High school or December, not a member. Too high like I'm in a nether.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so as long as there's been people who have too much money, there's been people that try to figure out how to get it away from those people. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like inventing a product, making people buy a new iPhone every year, whatever it is, to separate stupid people from their money. But sometimes people just start like making stuff up to trick people out of their money, and that's what we call a scam. And for the most part, they're pretty immoral. Like, personally, I feel like tricking people out of their money just makes me feel bad. But some people, bro, can sleep just good at night with a binky that they stole from a 3-month-old that was sleep deprived. You know, some people really just have no morals whatsoever. And there was one kid that I went to middle school with who just seemed like one of those people, dude. Any chance he had to like screw somebody over, he would take, even if he didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, if he could find a way to make sure everybody in his class failed and he got an A, he was gonna do it. He just only cared about himself all the time. That was the only thing that he ever cared about, you know? And nothing's wrong with being a little selfish, I guess, but it starts to get into trouble when this kid became known as a scammer at our school. He would scam kids out of their own homework, dude. I don't know if this kid had the silver tongue or what, but unironically, he would just convince people to like give them their homework so he could copy it, and then he would erase their name, write his name on it, turn it in, and then be like, I don't know what you're talking about, to the teachers. That's how he first got his reputation as a little bit of a scammer. He would do that relatively often, just like take people's homework and erase their name and put his on it, and he would tell these people to get their homework, really sad sob stories, you know. Oh, my dog just bit my grandma, and now my grandma has rabies, and she was foaming at the mouth trying to eat me the other day, like stuff like that, so you would feel bad for him and give him your homework, because, you know, hey, who has time to be doing their homework when their grandma has rabies? Next thing you know, he's like, oh, sorry, yeah, I lost it, and he's turning in your homework with his name on it. So that's when I first realized that this dude was pretty sketchy, but for whatever reason, everybody else in the school was just like, yeah, sure, he's willing to steal homework. Yeah, sure, he lies all the time about, you know, his grandma being bitten by a rabid dog to get attention, but whatever, he can't be that bad. Like, everybody at our school just ignored every red flags that this kid would be willing to steal from people, right? Anyways, one time this kid comes into class and he's using a cast to walk, or crutches to walk around, and he has a cast on his ankle. And he starts telling everybody that he has a rare disease called, and I'm not kidding you, the name that he said of the disease was hyperphlygobladalgia. And I was like, okay, this is obviously cap, because diseases don't make you put a cast on your ankle, bro. Like, if you broke your ankle, you know, sure, they'd put you on a cast, but he walked in limping around with crutches and a cast on because of hyperphlygobladalgia. Like, it just made no sense. So immediately I knew he was capping, bro. I was like, there's no way that this kid has and everybody else at the school, for whatever reason, was just like, oh my God, you poor baby, you poor thing. If there's anything we can do for you, let us know. All the teachers started babying him, dude. They were like, you don't have to do any homework. I understand. You know, my grandma has suffered from a disease. It's like, bro, everyone's grandma has had a disease at one point, Miss Applebottom, okay? Like, they're old people. That's what they do. But this kid is not actually sick. And what makes it even funnier, dude, is this kid was just genuinely, like, not even trying to convince people this was real. The next day, after he had come to school and convinced everybody he had flippia, he walks into school with his crutches and his cast, but the cast is on the other foot. Like, apparently he had swapped ankles. So when I saw him at this, like, I said something to him about, hey, kind of funny how your cast is on the other ankle. I wasn't trying to call him out, but like, at the same time, bro, I'm watching you convince all your teachers and stuff that you shouldn't be doing homework, everybody's feeling bad for you and whatnot, and like, you're switching casts from ankle to ankle. And he just looked at me and tried to explain to me that this disease that he had, basically broke a different one of his ankles every day, but it also sped up the bone healing process so that, the other ankle was healed by now. This dude was trying to convince me that he had a disease that would break one of his ankles every single day, a different ankle, but the other one would be healed in 24 hours. So this guy basically just had the crappiest Wolverine powers ever. He's like, yeah, my bones will heal, but they also break themselves. Like, that does not sound very pleasant. So whatever, I decide to do this thing where I'm gonna Google this disease that he has. So I Google it. Sure enough, it doesn't exist. Like, listen, man, if you're gonna pretend to have a disease that breaks your ankles, at least go through the effort to like Google a disease that actually happens with, don't just freeball it and be like, oh no, there's this rare disease that breaks my ankles every day. But whatever, bro. I wasn't going to say anything because no one was going to believe me, dude. Like, the entire school genuinely felt so bad for this kid. They were sending home newsletters. Like, it was so awkward, bro, because everybody was just buying it, man. And regardless, he starts using it to get out of, like, PE because his ankles are hurting. He was using it to get out of homework, and I already had told you guys about that because the teachers had felt bad for him, dude. But he even started trying to use it, like, we had a group project, and one of my friends was in his group. I was not in his group, thank God. But he started telling them that, like, he wasn't going to be able to do any work on the group project because his ankles really bug him when he tries to do schoolwork too much. Like, oh, yes, I've heard of that disease, dude. Everybody knows the disease that flares up whenever you have to do a group project, man. Wow, that sounds really difficult. Like, the kid was just, capping on everybody. So my friend, like, obviously knew he was full of it, but all the girls in the group were like, oh my God, of course, like, anything you need, dude. The people were just too nice. The problem with being too nice to people is sometimes when things don't add up, you just shouldn't believe it, but everybody at the school that was, like, trying to just make this kid feel good because they thought he was suffering, and, like, I get it, you're trying to be a good person, but what disease makes you incapable of doing work on a group project? Like, come on. Anyways, this kid's scam gets a little bit more intricate when he starts going around to kids saying that, like, he's gonna need money, to help with the treatments for his disease and whatnot. And instead of, like, going to the school and organizing it, and having, like, a charity drive or anything like that, he starts saying that his parents were too embarrassed to ask for help, and he just wants cash donations from students, but he doesn't want them to tell their parents about the donations because he doesn't want them to feel bad. And people in our school, for whatever reason, are just like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, come on, dude. Are you serious? Oh, yeah, I need money, but we can't go to the school. You can't tell your teachers. You can't tell your parents. You just have to give me money for my ankle disease that breaks my ankles every morning. Like, bro. And people unironically were doing it. I've said this before. I went to a school where some kids just had a little bit too much money, or should I say their mommy and daddy had too much money, and, like, we're just giving it to the kids to do it with it. So people were bringing this kid, like, $50 bills, $100 bills, and being like, I hope everything gets better. This kid was caking, bro. Unironically just caking all the money. And everybody was feeling bad for him. And this goes up for like a week. I think he was collecting donations, which, say what you want. He was trying to get the bag. There is something really messed up about faking an illness to get the bag, in my opinion. That's just a personal anecdote. But sadly, even this dude, who was apparently smart enough to convince the school of all this, did end up messing up pretty damn bad in front of everybody. So obviously everybody was feeling bad for this kid, giving him money and whatnot. So when there was a pep rally assembly, our dean was like, all right, I want this kid to come up here so we can all, congratulate him on being so awesome. And the kid, like, had gone up and something had happened, and somehow while walking up the stage he had, like, slipped and fell, right? except the only problem is he was supposed to be on crutches with a hurt ankle. So he slips and he falls and he like throws the crutches out from under him and falls and immediately just like gets back up, runs over to his crutches and picks him up. And by the time he even realizes why that was so bad, you know, the entire school is kind of like, wait, what? Your ankles aren't broken? Because like he had run towards the crutches with the cast on his foot, bro. And the thing is, it wasn't a cast like one of those hard casts. It was more of like a boot thing that he probably just like took from his dad's closet and put on from his backpack once his dad had driven away. Like it wasn't a real cast thing, dude. So everybody is kind of like, wait, hold on. And the kid, instead of being like, all right, you got me. It's been a good run. I've made all these money from these people, dude. I will never forget. He gets up and goes, it's a miracle, and started trying to be like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm healed, but I'm healed. My ankle feels amazing. Wow, it's the power of friendship. So here's this kid running around, oh my God, it's a miracle, and the entire school is just kind of like, so sure enough, after the fact, people are like kind of starting to realize that none of this stuff makes any sense, which is, it's flabbergasting that it took to this point for people to start putting it together. And I'm going to be honest, people in the comments are going to be like, your teachers are dumb, your teachers are this. He wasn't like, he told the teachers that he was sick, you know, but he wasn't really guilt tripping the teachers that much. Like, they just thought he was some kid with crutches that everybody felt bad for, you know? Like, yeah, they gave him some breaks on homework and whatnot, but he was smart enough to not try to play the people that would be really smart and be able to be like, hey, this is obviously Cap. He just stuck to like everybody else in 7th grade who just didn't know anything and was willing to give him the ban. So he's running around, oh my God, it's a miracle. And everybody is now finally starting to realize the situation. So after the assembly thing, a couple of kids like go up to him and start pressing him a little bit, like, all that money we gave you, like, you're not even sick. And he starts being like, well, to be fair, I didn't tell you that the money was going to go to like medical treatment. I just said it was going towards my treatment, and it has. And he starts explaining to them that like he was sad, but he's taken the money that they've given him and bought an Xbox and the new Call of Duty, and like technically it's a treatment for his happiness, so they should be happy for him, bro. He was trying to convince the people that had given him money because they thought he was like sick that it was perfectly okay because technically he had bought himself treatments for happiness because he had bought an Xbox, bro. Like, listen, man, if you scam people and they're talking to you asking why you scammed them, you don't go, well, to be fair, I did buy an Xbox and it was pretty sick. Like, the balls that you have to look at the people that gave you money and be like, thanks, by the way, the Xbox that I got with it is super sick, is pretty impressive, dude. And I'm gonna be honest, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, haha, what a savage. Yeah, the kid was a savage, but at the same time, dude, I really can't say that, like, I think the kid was that, and like, what he did was wrong. But the fact that people were stupid enough to believe it is even more wrong. You know what I'm saying? People that are stupid and are going to try to steal money are going to exist. Like Bernie Madoff happened, bro. That guy stole like $111 billion. So the least that you should do for yourself is always realize, take a second and go, does this make any sense? And if you say no and keep believing it, then you're the stupid one, bro. Because guess what? Everybody with a brain was not giving this kid money because everyone with a brain could see right through it. So regardless, bro, people are all mad at him, and he's explaining that, like, technically he bought happiness, and they were not really having it that much. And, you know, I'm not saying that violence is the answer, but there were a few altercations centering around the fact that this kid had basically stolen money from a bunch of people by guilt-tripping them into, like, feeling bad for him, you know, and, the kid, actually, the ball's on this kid. He didn't transfer schools, nothing. He just really just toughed it out till the end of middle school. He did go to a different high school than most of the people that I went to middle school with, but yeah, no cap, he was pretty proud of it. Like, every year he would make jokes after the fact. So this happened in 7th grade. And in 8th grade, he would make jokes about how, like, he was going to go on to be the next Ponzi scheme runner. Like, this kid really had no shame whatsoever. Definitely a little bit of, like, a sociopath because he stole all this money from people, convincing him he was sick, and was like, whatever, and legitimately did not care. Like, would brag about the fact that he had gotten away with it to new teachers or new kids because he just thought it made him the coolest person ever. Yeah, that's just what it is sometimes. Occasionally, people are going to try to bamboozle you, but, you know, if the ankle that they've broken is changing every day, it should be pretty obvious that none of this makes any sense. Regardless, guys, moral of the story, keep an eye out. If something seems fishy, it probably is fishy. And, you know, you don't got to go out of your way and be telling every kid with a broken ankle in school that it's fake, because you don't know. I guess you don't know, but if somebody has a broken ankle and starts begging for money, I'm going to tell you this now, just don't give it to them, because that just really does not make sense. Or if they are going to beg for money, they do it through the school and your parents would be allowed to know about it. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video. If you liked it, if you didn't, I guess it's totally up to you. Follow me on Twitter at Scrubby_69. My Instagram is just at Scrubby. And I am going to plug this, the OG Sub Club merch. You might want to get it before it's gone. The main channel has actually been doing better, so the 2 mil is coming. Be sure to get it if you haven't already. If you like the intro song, a link will be down below in the description. Feel free to check it out. I guess no pressure. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I will see you guys all tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace.